In this video, we are going to take a look at HVL and the mistakes she has made. Now, she went viral a bit after the Mississippi State game, as it appeared when they drew up a sideline play. She looked confused and didn't know where she was supposed to be or what was going on. To be fair, I think that is brutally unfair. If I was coaching a player, I'd rather them be honest with me and say, I got no idea what you've drawn up there. I don't know what you want me to do, and ask and try to clarify, versus that head nod, oh yeah, I totally get it, and then they get out there and they're totally lined up the wrong way. So I have no issue with her being confused by Mulkey's scribble on the inbound play or the last play of the game. Now that's fine. Now, with all that being said, I do acknowledge the title of this video is The Mistakes That HVL Has Made, which we will go through, and I realize the hypocrisy. I'm going to defend her on this, but now I'm going to crush her on the mistakes I feel that she's made over the last year. Before we start, if you like the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. All right, let's get into this. So the first mistake Hailey Van Lith made was she did not look or remember the research that she'd done in the past. So when recruiting came down to it, it was between Baylor and Louisville, and she chose Louisville essentially because she saw that that school was a better fit for her. She talked about this during the LSU preseason interviews, where she outlines why she chose to go to Louisville over Baylor, but she thought that LSU would be a better fit as their posts were more mobile and she could fit in better.
So, yeah, I mean, that was why out of high school, but everything happens for a reason.
What's the difference now?
I think the system here is a little bit more open. Even the bigs that I am playing with, they're a little bit more versatile. They can play the perimeter, come off the block. So the system that the team has and the flow and the style of play fits me a little bit better. And I'm also in a position where I'm going to be able to play multiple positions. So I have the capability to step out and play the one now, where if I would have went to Baylor out of high school, I don't know if I would have been ready to step up and play the one.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know if she really believed that or wanted to believe that, essentially because I think she left Louisville, and I've done this in previous videos, was basically she wanted to play point, and she felt that Jeff Walz took away her opportunity to do this at Louisville when he brought in transfer Jada Curry, which was announced on the 3rd of April. Look at HVL talk on the 26th of March after Louisville's season in 2023, where she's excited about coming back, the nucleus of players they have.
We have pieces going into next year. This is one of the years that I think we have a solid base of who we know who we're gonna have. So as much as we can get in the gym together, build that chemistry, and I'm super excited. We're gonna have an even better year next year. I just know it. That's how Louisville basketball rolls. So I can't wait.
On the 3rd of April, it was confirmed that Jada Curry was transferring to Louisville, and then 5 days later, HVL entered the transfer portal with an only to be contacted by teams allowed to on her list, and LSU was one of those teams on her list. HVL then does an interview after the 3-on-3 World Championships where she basically confirms this is the case, saying I can be a point guard, and then outlines how she feels like she wasn't given the opportunity to do that at Louisville. Take a listen.
No, I do have point guard skills. A lot of people are like, oh, she's not a point guard. Oh, she doesn't shoot. And that's a lie. Okay, I'm gonna come here, stand on 2 feet and tell everybody right now that's a lie. It's about what opportunity I've been given, and I think at LSU I'll be given an opportunity to play point and show that I can run a team. And so I'm very capable of that. And I also think I have a unique shot making ability that kind of sets me apart. So, I'm excited to show like that part to me, but I'm also just really excited for all the ways that LSU is going to make me better. Like, I think defensively, they're going to make me so much better. I think, from a leadership standpoint, they're going to push me to be able to lead a team with other great players. And I think there's just, for as much as I can do for them, they can do so much more for me.
Now, here's the thing. I've got no doubt that Jeff Walz is a tough coach, but he's a good coach. His teams are always in the tournament. They seem well drilled, and they tend to get better as the season goes along and seem to always be playing their best basketball when they go into the tournament. As well, I think he's old school and will do whatever he feels is best for the team. I don't know if nobody knows if they had a conversation and she asked to play point or whatever. I would assume that, you would think that she would have brought it up and they would have had a conversation about it. I don't know if it was said, hey, I'll let you compete for it, but if she's better, then she'll play the point, or what the status was. But ultimately, she said, no, I need to get out of here because I'm not going to get that opportunity at Louisville, as I feel like there's an open slot at LSU. I'll join this super team, and it's going to be awesome. And obviously, in hindsight, that's a massive miscalculation. Essentially, we call that the grass is always greener on the other side, and it's not. Walz obviously had concerns about you playing point guard, hence why he brought in Jada Curry, although she is now coming off the bench. So HVL could have stayed there and competed with her and maybe won the spot outright. We will never know. But she decided to transfer to a rock star program and put herself in the media spotlight and make a big target for herself. And then this was their other mistake that HVL made, is she put an even bigger target on herself, because in these interviews, like in the preseason one, as well as the one where she did over the summer, she talked up LSU, how they had so much WNBA talent, and they would be more challenged playing in practice than they would in the games.
Yeah, I think, for us, in the level of talent we have, there's going to be a lot of times where our practices are going to be much harder than the competition we're playing in games. And that's all you can ask for, right? Like, that's going to prepare us. We're not always going to be looking at the opponent across from us. We're going to be looking at us and how to make us better.
But I also see, I see a little bit of, a glimpse of, a mini pro team. It's kind of we have so many WNBA prospects. And I really am excited because I think it's going to give me a taste of what the league is like, and playing on a team with such great players.
This immediately sets you up as the villain, and it doesn't take a heck of a lot to make HVL a villain, as she has that confidence or way about her that seems to irritate people. Certain athletes have this. In my day, it was Danny Ainge. Everybody hated Danny Ainge, just the way he complained in his mannerisms and things like that. Novak Djokovic has some of it, I would suggest. I'm just saying, some people irritate people. It's just the mannerism they have, and she has that quality. So there's a large contingent, especially in Louisville and probably South Carolina and all over the place, that are watching her, hoping that she fails. And it is hard to battle the haters. I mean, I call this the Miami Heat syndrome. Once LeBron said he was going there, and then they did their welcome party, they were enemy number one, which finished up with them losing in the final and LeBron just giving a bitter press conference. And they were able to come back the next season because they took their comeuppance, if you like. Now the question is, how will this play out? Well, first of all, it's interesting. Her numbers aren't too dissimilar from what she's done previously in her career. Like, her scoring is obviously down from 2022-23 at Louisville, as she's not taking as many shots, but her three-point percentage has gone up. Her field goal percentage has roughly been around 40% her whole career, but it's really a question of, this is who she is, and will it be after this season? Will she turn into the point guard that she wants to be and LSU needs for next season? And is the plan this season just to throw her back at off guard, where she's obviously more comfortable playing? And you can't really do that because Falajah Johnson is playing well and better on the defensive end, clearly. And Mulkey has outlined this in press conferences, saying we need to help because our guards aren't the most fleet of foot. That's obviously directed at HVL. Another one is we're trying to get Hailey to play angles better and reroute the player to the sideline and things like that. So they know her defense is an issue. And if you know anything about Kim Mulkey, her coaching career is based on, we are going to play defense and we are going to rebound and be tough inside, and that's how we do things. The Kim Mulkey coach team, that's what we do. Hence why, out of high school, HVL decided to go to Louisville versus Baylor, as she knew her defense wasn't great and she would struggle with that, and she would struggle to feed the post, which is exactly what is happening at LSU, which is why transferring was a major mistake for her. She would have been much better off staying at Louisville, being that favorite player that she plays with a chip on her shoulder, but hey, she's coming from a mid-major school, and we love that. You know, she's taking on the big schools, and that's what she needs. Hailey Van Lith doesn't take a backward step, versus being at LSU, being called out by her current fans, being laughed at by Louisville and others, saying, "What have you done? You have made a massive mistake." If she couldn't earn any point guard time in her 4th year at Louisville, then I think she would have gotten more love or less hate and vitriol if she would have transferred her 5th year as a grad transfer. Well, maybe it would have made Gino Auriemma unhappy, but pretty much everybody else thinks, hey, you play your 4 years, then you can transfer your 5th year. No harm, no foul. You've done your time at the previous school. Now, there is obviously a counter argument to this, which says, hey, she's taken the jump, and that's what you have to do. She's going to take her licks this year. She's set up for next year. And here we go. She's done the right thing. So now it's your time. Have your say. Is HVL transferring just a massive mistake and failure on her part? Or is she just going through those growing pains that any point guard needs to go through if you're switching from off guard to the point? Anyway, your comments, your feedback are welcome. Thanks a lot for watching. Good night.